good afternoon. My name is Peggy, one of the master trainers here. Welcome today to IFL AMA Ask Me Anything segment for the topic on financial planning for women. And of course, I will also have to wish one and all of the listeners who are women a very happy International Women's Day. That is on the 8th of March. And we are looking at accompanying information, advice, in financial planning that also has to do with women. So quickly, this is our disclaimer. Basically, if you should, consult any licensed financial advisor or do your own due diligence before making a decision to invest in any product, because IFL over here, our sessions will just help you evaluate information. It does not involve any advice in product selection. So what do we have in store for you today? It is about what financial planning is, how women should approach the subject, and what to look out for when planning your finances. And this is all for women. So the International Women's Day is really to celebrate, the capabilities of women as well as the sacrifices. So how is financial planning different between males and females? Let's, take a look here. Let's look at statistics, right? And this was a survey that was done by Fidelity. They have a International Global Women and Money Survey conducted in 2023 as well as 2022. So we are looking at some of the extracted statistics from there. The first is about 43% of women feel financially independent. Well, it is compared with 46% in 2022. Well, why that is the case, I think, we may have some ideas about it, although you will have to read the report, for that comparison. It's interesting to me because 2022 also was the year when the pandemic restrictions were mostly removed and many moved on to enter back into physical workplaces. So it is a little surprising to me, right? And it also means that maybe, right, looking at these statistics, we want to examine some of these reasons and try and move forward from there, and maybe try to attend more financial literacy education programs, right, to lift us up from this current status. And there is also the next statistic, which is close to 2 in 5 women, or 33%, are feeling confident in their financial situation as a whole. Again, it is a fall from 42% in 2022. However, I imagine that perhaps, right, overall there is, this, adapting, right, towards a new situation in 2023. Perhaps, that is what led to the difference in the numbers. And this is specifically for Singapore itself. 27% of women felt confident about the level of savings to support them throughout their retirement. And this is versus 34% for men. So again, usually the men, they tend to be, their statistics, tend to be higher than women. So this is all about, the current, confidence level and this understanding that women have regarding, the security that they feel about their approach, to how money, right, is holding up for them. So I think, there is also, all right, generally the caregiving element, right, because that is usually this trend whereby there are three times, more time, right, taken up by women for non-paying caregiving duties, right, as compared to men. So, that is one area. The other could be that, longevity has also, a role to play here. Imagine that, if women, on average, live longer than men, they will have to actually plan longer in terms of retirement, and also have more set aside. Yeah. So, that could, all right, be some of the underlying currents, all right, in these statistics. And all right, so this is, oh, yeah, sorry. This is, it came from the Global Women and Money Survey, right, for women in Singapore. So having, looked at these statistics, I think, it is very or vitally important, right, for women to up their, their game in financial planning. And the pillars of financial planning continue to be the same, where it comes to savings, which is managing your resources, protection, which is about making sure that you are prepared for unexpected events in life, as well as, investing, which is, with suitable strategies, these resources can grow to meet your goals through compounding interest. So, what can we suggest, right? Because these are really straight to the point. Some of these areas that you can implement straight away if you know what these tips are about. So I'm just going to expand them a little bit. I don't have that much time, to unpack them, but hopefully you'll be able to attend some of our financial education programs, right? And to be able to discuss them through our activity-based workshops. So that is a very, very well-known 50-30-20 budgeting rule. What this includes is 50% of our income that is to be spent on needs, roughly about 30%, where we will need to set aside for wants, and 20%, which is really important, that is always our savings percentage. So this is something that you can vary, but you can start off with this particular budgeting rule and work out from there. So the next is about paying yourself first. So if you're looking at the budgeting rule, the first thing that you do when you receive that income is to save that 20%. So this may be in the form of setting up a gyro or standing instruction with your bank, so that you have another bank account where you will straight away set up, that transfer, that savings. Or you may also have a standing instruction to put that savings into either a savings or an investment plan, right? So this is something that is quite, achievable. The next is on the savings front. Okay, the first priority for savings is to try and set aside that 6 months of monthly expenses. While we say 6 months, we know that it takes time to build up to 6 months. So there is, that three times of your monthly expenses, try to achieve that goal first, and then move on to that 6 times. Okay, so once you have done, that emergency funds, you have saved that out, then you can move on to your further savings for other short, medium, or long-term goals, or to achieve them through investments. Now, topping up CPF on a regular basis, well, some of you may find that this may take a little bit more consideration, although you may have already set up your emergency savings, and that is, set aside. However, it may take time for you to feel comfortable enough, right, to top up your CPF, because, once that's done, the monies can't be used as and withdrawn as you are more used to. It's not as flexible. So think of it as a long-term goal, and in order to achieve that, you may have different options, and one of them, right, is about topping up your CPF. So use cash to top up to enjoy tax savings. So it could be yourself, it could be a family member who could do that topping up for you. It could also be your spouse, who may be the single breadwinner. So if they do that, subject to terms and conditions, do look that up in the IRAS site. The person who tops up for you in cash would be able to enjoy tax relief up to $8,000. Okay. And the second part that we want to discuss is about protection. It is also important. It doesn't mean that just because you perhaps could be a full-time caregiver at home, that because there is no economic sort of role that you play, that you are not important enough to protect. So please do evaluate what your mortality and critical illness protection needs are. So when we talk about mortality, it translates to in the event, right, we have passed on, and there is probably someone else who the family may need to hire in order to replace, those caregiving duties. So there is a real, economic value, right, that you add to the family right now. So do think through, right, in our absence, what is that kind of death or critical illness, support or that financial or the income replacement, all right, that is needed, and what those coverage amounts come up to. So so do take that into consideration. A typical rule of thumb, as you're advised by the Life Insurance Association of Singapore, is 9 times of for death benefit, and 9 times of your annual income for benefit, for death benefit, and 4 times of the annual income for critical illness. Okay, so that is just a rule of thumb. It is advisable that you were to go through an assessment with someone who has the knowledge to do that, and it's something that you will need to consider as well. What kind of insurance is affordable for you. Now, in terms of bundled and unbundled approach, you only hear these terms or these 2 terms in Singapore. When we talk about bundled life insurance, this is to mean life insurance that is accompanied with savings as well as investment linked policies, where unbundled means that these are just term life insurance, and they are just like your travel plans. If nothing happens, there is no payout, no surrender value, there's no cash value, and after it terminates, because these are term plans, they will expire. So after that, there is no protection anymore, and therefore these are the lowest cost kind of life insurance that you can find in that is available in the market. And hence, this is where we want to, highlight when we are talking about insurance. Perhaps, you should focus on as a priority on the protection first, and not the bundled, together wealth accumulation, especially when budget is limited. So between the two, if you have to make a decision about closing that protection gap, you may want to, consider term insurance first. But do, sit down with the advisor, have them, make a comparison between the two plans, so you understand and make an informed choice. Because usually when we talk about in terms of income levels, if we are not very confident about having that income to support that additional insurance premium, we may want to aim right just for protection only. Okay. So next, all right, this is part 3 where we talk about this investment component. Now, if you look at all the pointers there, they are kind of like a checklist, yeah. So if you were to go through each of them, and if you were to track, yes, I know my financial goals, and for many women, it is actually to meet a first, a really large long-term goal for retirement. This comes at the time when probably the stage of our life, where we may not be able to work anymore, due to health, and age constraints. And we want to be able to have a clear investment objective as to what kind of portfolio of investments is going to help us reach that goal. And the next, right, check that off. I'm aware of my investment horizon. Again, we must pin down when we think, right, we are going to, say, for instance, for retirement goal, when we're going to enter, right, into retirement, and for how long we will need, that money for. So next, right, is that, some investments are risky. So let's, acknowledge that we have to be on the lookout. Some of, the instruments out there will commensurate with our risk tolerance, but some do not. So do not just, pay attention to the features. We must also be able to filter off, the marketing behind it, so that we are not swayed, or pressured into getting such products where it may be too risky, for our own, for our own tolerance or for our own needs. Yeah. So next, followed by, I must know my risk profile. So this is where we highlight there is a CPF risk tolerance questionnaire. You can type it down in your search engine and pull that up. And once you have answered those questions and tallied the results, you will have a better idea of your risk profile. Now, it doesn't mean that your risk profile will continue to stay the same, throughout, your life stages. Sometimes, we develop, better information about investments, and therefore, your tolerance for risk can increase, right? So at different stages, you may want to, go back, to your risk profile and just, check back again, right, on where you stand, right, when it comes to, managing that risk, right, in your investments. So have you aligned your investments to your risk profile? And very importantly, whether you have diversified your investments to mitigate risk. Now, there is a very big difference between being an investor and being a speculator, right? So in this regard, we are talking about fulfilling, your financial goals, through your investments as a longer term investor. right? Because when it comes to speculating, we are really talking about very, very short term skills, methods, right? And viewpoint of your, how your financial instrument, right, does. Okay, so in this case, we're really talking about as an investor, you want to manage your risk, over, that period of your investment horizon, and therefore try, to spread out your risk is important. Diversifying your investments will help you manage that risk. Okay, and if you are starting out, try to start small, yeah, so that you are able, to reserve, some of these bullets where your capital, right, is still there for you to try and diversify your investments across time. And we hope that you are able to start early and to continue to monitor. Do not just, depend on a advisor or an intermediary, right, to help you with that monitoring. It is important, right, for us. Once we get ourselves started, we need to educate through constant monitoring and constantly, understanding, what is going on in the investment market itself. So now, before you invest, make sure that you have already completed, the first two components, right, which is the save and protection. Put them, make sure that they are in place first, and then, before you go about, putting your investment plan into action. And please proceed with caution. And it's even more so for a new investor, right? Because it really depends on what you're investing in. Sometimes as a new investor, we cannot tell, the difference between regulated and unregulated investments. A lot of times, it is whatever we feel that, the person who has told us the trust level that you have and the confidence that you have in that person or the institution, right, that you're dealing with, all right, that gives us the courage, to take that first step. So if already if that is a misplaced trust, right, then we want to be extra careful, right, as a new investor. Deal with regulated entities and financial advisors. What do we mean by that? So MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, has its duty of regulating financial institutions, especially those that handle investments for those who are working here, domiciled here, who are Singaporeans, and it is important, for us to realize that they have already done that first level of checks. So there's a check and balance, that MAS does for us. They will go in and they will require information about, who's running the company, how the structure is, the kind of reports that they are supposed to submit to MAS. So all those is already in place, right? So the word financial advisor, right, refers to the business, right, the company, right, that is registered, to advise, the general public on financial matters. And the people who are employed by them or are tied to them, they are called the financial advisor representatives. Okay, so you can look up, you can go on site, do your search, look up and see, whether that financial advisor or their representatives, they are regulated, right, by MAS. So this already allows you first level of checks. It doesn't mean, right, that just because they are regulated, completely safe, but at least, you have done your first level. And do take note of transaction costs and charges. They can really eat into your profits. So, over time, right, you will be able to find out more and compare, right, between different offerings out there. There could be, transaction fees, platform fees. It could be, commissions, right, that you need to pay. So, by and by, as you become more and more savvy, you would start, to pay attention, and move towards, lower transaction costs and charges. And as usual, we say start simple and small with no risk instruments. And one of them that we suggest is the Singapore Savings Bond. This is really, very well thought through and designed. They offer a Singapore Savings Bond, and this is through the government, the Singapore government securities. They will offer a Singapore Savings Bond every month, and this is for savings for as short as 1 month to as long as 10 years. And there is very little fee involved, right? So there's a $2 fee, to purchase this bond. And if you were to if you were to withdraw from this, it is just and before that 10-year period, is also another $2 fee. Okay, so do have a visit if Singapore Savings Bond is something new to you. It is well documented on the MAS websites, and there is also a microsite dedicated, right, to investors who have bought the Singapore Savings Bond, right? So that there's a dashboard and you can access the information in a timely manner. So, moving on, right? Moving on. You may also want to consider, right, especially for the women folk who are considering, stopping work because of, quite commonly for caregiving duties that you have volunteered for. Do take active steps, right, towards your financial planning. And what do we mean by that? It means that you will also need, right, to work out how long, right, you can be in that caregiving mode for, and when, right, your finances, that is supporting you during that period of time, will sort of, start to go down, and you may have to return back to work again. So think about this time horizon, and during that time, you may be financially supported either by spouse or other members of the family. So this is important. It just doesn't mean that you stop work, the income stops, right? So you have to think about what is that living expense that you will still need on a monthly basis, even though it has been reduced, right? And talk to those who will be supporting you. If not, all right, if you're looking at your own savings, how long is that going to sustain you for? And where possible, this is very important. We will still need to work towards sort of a retirement, amount, and CPF has already, worked that out for us. This is in the form of retirement sums. Okay, so you may start off by looking at, what is a basic retirement sum, as well as a full retirement sum. And also look at the MediSave component, and this is the basic healthcare sum which is set by the Ministry of Health. Okay, so if you're looking at this, these are good levels, right, to peg our goals with, because they are meant to ensure, right, that there is some minimal sustenance, right, during our retirement period. And next, right, is very importantly when it comes to debt, right, because we don't want to be accumulating unnecessary debt and rolling, the interest. Look at your debt levels. Maybe you may want to consider applying for debit cards instead of using credit cards, and you may want to reserve the credit cards for certain occasions, but do remember that you have to pay off on time and in full, if it is an amount owing to a credit card. You may also consider taking shorter career breaks, sabbaticals or no pay leaves. That means, we just want to stay as a with the company, but to be able to take this leave instead, to carry out our caregiving duties, or to negotiate for a step down role instead of working full time. So these are ways to ensure that we will still have some income coming alongside, and it is not a complete break, because there are a lot of adjustments that we need to make right before we stop work completely. And next, all right, as you consider re-entering the workshop, you will have to remember, right, keep your resume updated. And these are also really useful, right? Because we're getting these additional skills future credits. Do think about making good use of that, getting yourself retrained and upskilled. There are those with transferable skills sets. For instance, you have had a lot of experience, in the area of work. You may consider, right, becoming an adult trainer. So ACLP stands for the Advanced Certificate in Learning and Performance. So it takes you through, a few months of learning, where you acquire skills, right, to be able to teach, right, this specific area of specialty, right, to adult students, or to the general public. So you can also consider, all right, this is another suggestion, turning your hobby into business. So you could be really good, as a cook, or as health. It could be in healthcare. You could be in in sports. You could be in yoga. So do consider that you can start a side hustle, and then eventually, like turning it into a full-fledged business. uh and another you can consider is to perhaps ease yourself back to work life by taking part-time roles, so that your caregiving can eventually drop to a level that you're able to re-enter back again in a full-time role. So these are some of the considerations, so that it doesn't have to be kind of like a straight away, where you enter the workforce, there's a lot of stress. So these are things that you can do while you have taken time off, and sort of branding yourself as you re-enter the workforce. Now, here we go. All right. So this is introducing My Money Sense. This is a microsite where it is, gives you a additional tool. Now, this was, provided by, SG Findex. This is actually a tool, all right, that allows you to have a dashboard view, right, of your insurance, of your bank accounts, of CDP. And this is especially useful, right, for those who seem to be sort of getting lost, right, in the numbers, and you are not able to consolidate them. So if you were to look at the banks here, right, there are 7 who participate, right, in this particular application. And there are also all these 7 insurers. So what it does is that if you are willing, to allow permission, right, for this application to gain access to these information in each of your individual banks and insurance companies, is able to pull together this information, and it also helps to make sense of it. right? So it will derive, some ratios and make you think about, whether there is sufficient, adequacy, right, for, some of these money management needs for yourself. Okay, so this is something that we hope, could be a useful tool for you. And another piece of advice is, you'll never know for sure. Please, keep your money safe. We are only in March, and we have already heard so much, that so much money, has been lost, due to scammers. So, do continue to track and reconcile your banking transactions on a more regular basis. If you can, at least once a month, and if you can do it, in every 2 weeks, so that if there is any kind of unexpected deductions, from your bank account, you will already be aware, and to alert your bank about it. So this is, part of a habit, right, that we should have, so that, it is all within sight. Yeah. As well as, don't share your personal information over the phone with someone who claims to be from the bank, or any, of the government services, because they will never, right, ask for this information over the phone. Be very careful about, SMSs that you receive. Sometimes, they look so much, like the organizations that you're so familiar with in terms of the naming. Sometimes when it comes through the email, but every time when they are shocking you into some kind of knee-jerk reaction, remember, stay calm, stay calm, right? And reread what that sudden unexpected event is, right? And verify it, all right, by calling the organization first, okay, rather than reacting to the phone call that purports, right, to be from the bank or the organization. Next, right, do not disclose your login credentials or OTP to anybody. Again, this has been done so many times, because of uh, our anxiety, our rush to to get a good deal, over Facebook, and you have these applications that are downloaded right to our phones, and it gets access to bank accounts and CPF. So be very, very vigilant. Yeah. Also remember the ACT, okay, which is to add, if you can, the Scam Shield app. This is, I find that, it has been very useful for me, because it has been able to reduce the amount of nuisance calls, sorry, to me. So it add the Scam Shield Act. And next is C. Please, double check, right? Whether it is, it is from, from scammers. Check the information, against the Scam Shield. There is a space, right, for you to verify, right, whether it is a scam or not. And T is to tell, right, meaning that to report back through the Scam Shield app, right, if you find that this is probably a scam. And by doing so, you are also protecting the other Scam Shield users, because that would help to block off some of the calls, or any other attempts, right, to contact possible victims. Okay, so this is something that we should always have at the back of our minds. Now, future planning. Future planning, although it's not one of the components, right? Save, protect, and to invest. However, this is equally important. future planning when it comes to distribution of our assets when we are no more around. So this would be in terms of our estate. It can be done through the will, CPF nominations, and insurance nominations. You can also, all right, consider lasting power of attorney, although this is not really estate planning. However, it is planning in the event should we lose mental capacity. All right, so these are legal documents, some preparing of legal documents, and thinking through who we are going to assign this trusted responsibility of managing our monies, right, when we are no longer able to do them ourselves. In terms of your joint financial assets, do think through whether this is how you would like to have the right to survivorship to be implemented. Is that the most efficient, or rather does that achieve your intentions? Okay, so if it does not, then you may want to consider setting up something different to make sure that the passing on of all these assets to a your beneficiary, right, can be done in the most expedient manner. And then, of course, in case we are no more around and you have young children, guardianship is important to consider, and as well as, planning for your own retirement. So these are, future planning that we hope, you will take time off to consider. Okay. All right, so it's important that your next of kin knows where all these documents are. So do check out, My Legacy. So this again, all right, this is another site, that GovTech, together with other government agencies has put together. So this is a place where you can store your information digitally and share that, with the people that you trust. And even as you update it, you can, keep the most updated copies, through this My Legacy Vault. All right, so do check that out. All right, so this is also, something that we really want to shout out and announce. We have been implementing financial health clinics online for the past year or so now. This is a service, right, that allows anyone, right, any public member, to set up an appointment to meet up with our volunteers and trainers. Now, take note, there is no selling of any products, no product recommendation. Now, the whole objective is to help understand, whether there are any gaps between, where you want to get to and, your current situation. So it wants to be able to help provide you with tools, DIY, and, some pointers to get you moving, all right, along your financial planning journey. Now, it's also very useful, right, for your family members. So do take note, if they are not very comfortable with English, you can also, provide us with information, what kind of dialect or language they're comfortable with, and we'll find a advisor, who is able, to converse, right, comfortably there. Yes, and here we are. This is the time that you're waiting for. This is where, we launch into questions that are posted, and we want to address them because, they are the most important, questions of your mind. So this is, and I'm going to let the, questions, show up right now. Great. Okay, so the first question is, should I nominate my CPF to my children instead of my husband in case he remarries when I am gone? And what are the things to consider and the steps to take? Okay, so if you are concerned about this, I would first of all right, if this is, I can see that perhaps there is a lack of trust, right? Therefore, if you would wish to nominate your children, I would say that first consider, right, whether your children are still minors, right? So if they are still minors, you could do the nomination. However, they will only be able to access the money when they turn 18. Prior to that, the guardian will have to write in, to the trustee, right, to be able to access the money, and they will have to provide the reasons for doing so. So at least, there is some, check and balance there. Um, the other perhaps consideration is if there is cash and there is estate. So other than the CPF, you may also want to consider thinking about who you prefer to be the guardian or the co-guardian to your husband, because if the wife or the mother were to pass away, the default guardian, right, is the surviving husband. Okay, so you may want to consider if this is a guardian, that may you of your choosing, right, could be the co-guardian, as well as someone who may be a trustee, right, for the monies, meaning that this person, is able to, distribute the monies, along, as your children are growing up. Okay, so this is someone who is familiar with, matters involving money. How do you invest them? How do you make the best use of time, to grow the monies? Okay, so this is outside of your CPF. Those will be, in terms of bank accounts and other cash that is available to, entrust for your children to inherit. All right, so I hope, that helps assuage your concerns. Um, when should I start my financial planning? So you are currently a stay-at-home mom without any income. Well, perhaps you should start to attend, more of the financial education programs, such as those which are run by IFL. And, first, you would also want to have some financial goals, that you want to reach in mind, and then assess, where you currently are. Now, although you may say that you do not have any income, in most, family situations where there is a single breadwinner, there is also money that you are managing, right, as a housewife. Now, it also means that, right, there is a source of income, and that source of income should also, all right, take into consideration your contributions to the family, and therefore you also have a right to think about your future, and to be able to talk to your husband, and see if there could be additional financial resources that can be used to help you reach those goals as well. Okay, so it perhaps you will need to take some time out to think about what you may need in the future, and uh, discuss that with your husband in terms of what additional resources can be provided, right? So remember we talked about insurance protection as well. So you are a very, very important member of the family, and you're doing very important caregiving work. So although there is no income, but it can translate to some actual economic value. So this is in the area of protection. So there's savings protection, and right, if there is, that you have assessed yourself, to be someone who may gradually build up, investment portfolio, continue, in that vein. It will take time, but when you are able to set aside, your savings and protection, then this is where it's a good time to think about your, putting your investments, putting your savings into better use, right? And to be able to invest them. Remember, start small and start with a low risk instrument. Okay. So I'm going to the next question. I only have healthcare term insurance and premium is getting higher at my age. Should I continue to renew it? And you're worried if you can't pay, then no more protection. Okay, so I gather that health care term insurance, there are many different types. So one is sort of a hospital and surgical insurance. There is also the long-term care or long-term severe disability kind of insurance. That is also term. There is no cash value, right, to be derived from there if you were to surrender it. There is also critical illness, right? So I'm not sure whether you have critical illness term insurance. So I think the main thing is to assess where your needs are. Typically, as we get older, for healthcare insurance, because the inflation for the premiums is also higher, right, than other, expenses, in our, in what we need to pay for. So the premiums do get higher. We do need to, have a sort of pull down, right, all the premiums, and we are looking at it squarely, and we are looking at, when, it will come to a point, right, where we may not, right, be able to afford it. So first things first, right, is to be able to assess your healthcare insurance needs. One is, right, if I am no more, able, right, to carry out, my duties as perhaps, as during the time that I'm not working, am I able to, find someone, if I'm sorry, if I am, if I have a critical illness or disability and I'm unable to, carry out my, duties, will there be, right, a replacement income, right, through the form of critical illness, through the form of some, long-term care kind of insurance. Okay, so so think along those lines. Now, hospital and surgical is important. We do have a minimum of hospital and surgical, which is MediShield Life. Now, if we do not have the income and we are therefore we are unable to keep up, with the premiums, the government will be able to come in, right, and maintain that insurance for us. All right, so we don't have to worry about the premiums. But if you have a integrated shield plan, which is over and above the MediShield Life, right, to because we may want to have the choice, right, to stay in a ward that is higher than a B2 ward, right, in a restructured hospital, then we may want to consider, right, whether we want to pare down, right, on the class of integrated shield plan, right? So in terms of this kind of hospital and surgical plan, I always think of it as layers of an onion. You can decide, whether you want to peel off, the riders for the deductible and the co-insurance, or whether you would want to upgrade the insurance, all right, to a lower ward. Nevertheless, it's still higher than a B2 ward. So you have all these choices. So the first thing that I will do is to, download the list of premiums and, to see if I am comfortable with this, getting treatment, in lower ward, compared to something that I have access to now, right? And working out the premiums to see if this is something that's affordable, through my, future income or through my retirement income. Right. So when it comes to critical illness, take note, the critical illness is to cover the period, all right, where I am unable to bring in the income anymore through employment. Okay, so if you are looking at your retirement years and you have already procured, sort of a retirement income for yourself, right? Your critical illness, right, may have lesser, priority then, right? So you can actually pare down on your critical illness as well. So then you may ask them, what is there, to handle, my expenses, my medical expenses when I have a critical illness or have to go to the hospital and, and so forth. So that would be primarily taken care of by your hospital and surgical plan. So that is not just, an inpatient component, there's an outpatient component, for kidney dialysis, for chemotherapy, for radiotherapy, and some of these, critical illnesses, right? So this is where we're going to depend on that, hospital and surgical plan, right, to help us through our healthcare medical bills. Okay, so I hope that, I've, tried to explain that in the gist. And do, try and look out for our healthcare insurance workshops or talks, right, to sort of elaborate on that again. So next, I am a single mom with sole custody and care and control. If I do not have any will or nomination set up, will my ex-spouse, right, be able to get hold of my monies, right, due to the kids? Yes, this is a fact. If you do not do any future planning, and if, upon your demise, and the children are still minors, then your ex-spouse becomes the default guardian. And because you do not specify any trustee, the guardian will have, full access to the monies that are meant to go to the children. And if they are not responsible, they may not be actually spending it for the children. They may be spending it for other purposes. And because children are very young, they do not know, that they can, investigate or even complain about that. Then the children are definitely in a perhaps, in a worse off situation. So therefore, I know that there are many, many duties, right, that a single mom has to go through. Many of them are urgent and very important. However, you will still have to keep an eye on that very important, but currently maybe not so urgent, right, task of, setting up that, the CPF nominate, CPF insurance nominations, and as well as your will. Okay, right. So that's a consequence, right? And we also want to maybe help, the family member or the trusted, member who is, whom you would that you were assigned as a role, as a guardian, right? So it's just easier because if anyone were to step up, and to challenge, right, and to become a guardian outside of the default, guardian, then it would incur a lot of legal fees, and that is, I think, not something that you would want to leak out, right? It could be money that you would rather save, right, for the use or for your children's needs, right, rather than to for paying unnecessary legal fees for. So let's not be penny wise and pound foolish, right? And there will be costs, right, of writing a will. However, it will be money well spent, especially if these are more important, decisions that you are going to make regarding your estate. Okay, so I would suggest spend that money and get good advice, get that implemented, executed, through a will. Make sure that whoever who will be your executor for your will is able to find that will, right? And to be able to smoothen the whole process, right? Okay, so that's important. Now, my family budget is getting very tight from rising prices. I intend to work to supplement your family income, and you have stopped work 15 years ago. How should you start? Oh, yes, I think that you are keeping an eye, right, on your family expenses, and this is where you are really considering re-entering the workforce. So this is where one of the slides that we have. Consider perhaps coming in gradually and considering whether you can scale up or look at some other areas of work which could be quite different, right? But something that is really up your alley. So one of the places that you can start off with is with Workforce Singapore. So they have a service which is a career advisor. These are volunteers, right, who are still working in the industry but who want to give back. You can actually find out from them what that job consists of, and at least it helps you to visualize what that work will entail. Another right possible area of consultation is with Skills Future. So it's a different agency from Workforce Singapore. So this is where you can find out what areas of skill sets that you can that you can take up courses to improve your knowledge and gain confidence, right, in that area of work. They also have a training and advisory arm, and you are able to get some online consultation, as to what kind, of education or skill is useful. You can also go online and get some of these assessments done by yourself. These are all DIY. So these are the two websites that you can straight away get some traction from, and gradually figure out what is it that you want to focus and bring yourself up to speed, and eventually be able to apply for jobs, right, in that particular area. So this is just to focus, right, your time and resources on in that particular job front. Okay, so that's first off, and then later on, I think most importantly, you are considering trying to manage that budget. You can also perhaps start off with some quick part-time work in the F&B. So usually these are some readily available work. So it's not just there. It could be in some logistics and some packing, right? So these do not require a lot of skills. It just requires your availability. So that should plug, some of these needs, soon enough while you work towards, something which is more longer term. Okay. So there is the next question. You are single, living on a shoestring budget, and you need to support a parent, right? And how are you going to save? Well, now, in this aspect, right, while you are, supporting a parent, I can understand the, sort of the struggles that you have. It is not easy, right, with the income that you're making, and you are not just supporting yourself, but also your parent. So, not just again, depending, all right, on how open you are, right, to to looking out for upgrading or skills, so that there could be that you could apply maybe for a job, that brings in a higher income. uh, at this point of time, perhaps everything that you earn goes into your living expenses and for your parents' needs. There is hardly anything else, right? That you can set aside to save. Perhaps one of the areas that you can also consider is uh, trying, right? Trying to uh, to pull together some monies, maybe, right? Maybe not in a day, not in a month, but over a period of time, maybe for about 6 months. Decide for yourself how much you can really set aside, right? And look at getting a a a means of maybe if you can set aside that that uh, small sum of money, right? Ask yourself, right? If it can eventually save up to $500 if you can, right? Over time, right? So it could be $1 a day even, right? So this eventually, right, will still build up to a savings habit. But I do understand, if it is really tight, perhaps the next best thing to consider, right, is to be able to find a job with a higher income. Okay. So next is, I quit my job a few years ago to take care of my ailing parents. My savings are running out, and what can I do? How can I plan for retirement? Um, well, since you are in a state where there is no job and there are ailing parents, I would suggest, right, that you go to the MSF website, support go where, right, where they may be able to show some particular channels, right, to consult. Say, for instance, there could be the ComCare, right, which could be a short to medium term kind of support. There could be other avenues. So I think one of the first things that you can do is to find yourself at the Support Go Where site, right? Put down, answer some of those that quick question, right? That will lead you to some of these agencies, right? Whether they are private or government, they are there, to assist those who are in these circumstances. And how do you plan for retirement? So you mentioned that you've quit your job. Hopefully, you have been contributing, right, to your CPF over the years that you were under employment, and you would also realize that these monies have been growing. So do look out, right, for some of these government budgetary schemes, where if you are unable to meet your basic retirement sum, there is, some means of government matching, right, that will be able to help, sort of grow as much as possible your retirement funds. Okay, as well as looking at whether you can, consider renting out a room. Those are some of the easier ways, right, to bring in some additional income. So, first, go to this support goal where, all right? Um, Finally, is financial planning for men and women done differently? Yes, it is done differently only because women, tend to live longer than men. So that's a fact. We will have to, plan for a longer retirement. And therefore, there needs to be, all right, some consideration for that nest egg. Other than that, I don't see how it needs to be different. Many of us, plan for our loved ones. So it is, really about your financial goals as well as, what your take, on risk management when it comes to investing, how that propensity for risk, right, will take you, into deciding on different kinds of uh, financial instruments, right, which you will add into your investment portfolio. Other than that, the financial planning process, for men and women is fairly the same. The pillars and the principles remain the same. Okay, so that is the last question, and I would like to cover some of these other areas. Right, do find out about our up and coming public sessions by going to our website and clicking on the events menu. So this is where you will find a slew of talks, activity-based workshops that may be suitable for whichever life stage or concern that you may have. Scan the QR code to get there directly. Or you may also email us at ifl@spi.edu.sg or register yourself at our finlearn Academy site so that you can join us, to take self-directed financial literacy courses, or find yourself on a community of learners to share and interact with other like-minded learners. Do follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and find out what other exciting programs that we have coming up. These are the useful links we mentioned. My Money Sense, in today's materials. Do visit them and check out the application that they have provided for the public. I would like to welcome you back, again for the next session of Ask Me Anything. It will be on the topic of planning for retirement. And if you would like, to have, some more, feedback about this current, Ask Me Anything, please scan the QR code, all right, and post us, your comments.